Well, good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, September the 8th, and this is my presentation, number 978, and I'm so glad to be with you tonight, talking about different things to consider when you're starting a business. Actually, 24 different topics that we'll slide across and talk to and help you get a good understanding on what we need to be doing. Our program tonight is facilitated by the Sampson County Small Business Center at Clinton, North Carolina. In other words, they're paying for this process and funding my presentation as well. The director at the Small Business Center there in Clinton is Bart Rice, and let's hear what Bart has to say.
I work in the small business. Basically what this is something that was created about 30 years ago, and it was designed to help people start small businesses or improve a small business that they've already started. Well, a lot of times they either seek me out or they're referred to me by somebody else, and they're coming because they don't have any idea on how to start a small business. So what I do is I listen to them and take their ideas and any dreams they might have had, things that they had thought about while they were working a mundane, regular day-to-day job, and I help them kind of put a real stamp on it. I listen, give some guidance, and try to push them in the right direction in order to succeed. Well, that's the best thing about the Small Business Center. Everything is no cost. We do the confidential appointments that we help, counseling appointments, and we also do seminars. And they kind of help them learn the skills that they're going to need to succeed in small business today, and all of that's at no cost. Well, when they come in, maybe they might just have an idea that's in their head, or they've sketched it down. I want to help them try to make that real, define which way they want to go, and help them get there and ultimately start a business and employ people in the community to improve the overall economy.
Bart is an excellent director. He works really hard with his clients. I've had a number of years of personal experience in working with and for Bart. Everything you say to him is confidential. He's not looking over your shoulder in such a way to cause you any trouble, but only to provide you help. So give him a call and set up an appointment. It'll be just like you've got a free counselor to your business, and so important it is to do that. Of course, I'm Steve Carver, and glad to be a part of your journey, and I appreciate you letting me be on board. I am not a lawyer, and I'm not an attorney or a CPA or a tax advisor. I'm a fellow that's been in business for over 63 years. Still am in business today, operating about 4 businesses now, and also working with entrepreneurs just like you guys. So I'm here to offer you free advice based on my experience. And always the first piece of advice is get a second or third opinion on anything you're doing related to your financial future, security, and that of your business. And a good place to find that second opinion and sounding board is at your small business centers closest to you. If you're not in the Sampson County area and would like for me to help connect you to the closest small business center to you, I'll be glad to do that. Just in the chat button, let me know that's what you'd like for me to do, and I'll do it. I've been working in business for 63 years, starting in 1959 when I was 12 years old. Still, my primary business today is operating an internet website, a fairly large website. We do a lot of business nationwide where we sell implements that go behind tractors. And I'm doing this every day, and appreciate the opportunity to share the knowledge I've learned after doing this for 35 years with you, so that maybe you won't make some of the mistakes that I have. I've also ran a large mowing and landscaping company, did all types of contracting, including government contract services on a number of different venues, as well as for the military. So I've got some good information and experience there that might be able to help you with whatever you're thinking about doing. I'm glad to provide coaching for you at any time that I can, always confidential and always at no charge unless you want to go with one-on-one private sessions. Right now, working with the small business centers across the eastern part of North Carolina. I've served basically all these different centers at one time or another and have a lot of contacts there. I like to call it the Chitlin circuit because it's mostly rural areas, and I'm just glad to help you be there. Greetings to you and your family from my family. This is my bride Norma here in the left-hand side. We have 12 children, 14 grandchildren, one great grandchild, and lots of pets. So I should be able to tell you that I know what drama is, with all these individuals to love and to hold and to have a life with. And drama is all about family, but you know what? It's also all about being in and active in a small business. So welcome tonight. I'm glad to have y'all on board. We've got 7 straight Thursday nights that if you'd like to join, I'll be right here for you. We'll tie each and every one of our sessions together. There'll be links so that it's a continuous flow. What you learn this week, you can put into place next week and so forth. I'm glad to see we've got some repeat visitors with us tonight. Sheila, I'm glad you found us. I was hoping you'd be able to, and Rush, thank you for joining us again. Angela, it's always good to have you. You're our senior master associate with us tonight, so good to have you with Kelly and the Madison. We'll have some other people coming on board, I know. So, Rusty, if you have a question, I see you got your hand out. Just turn your mic on and ask it.
I'm sorry, I don't. I was trying to wave hey.
Oh, okay. You're just waving. All right. Well, back at you. Wave. Okay. Good to have you on board. Tell me, what is your name?
Charmy.
Darmia. Okay. That's a long way from Russ, so I got you covered now.
Okay.
Thank you for being on board. But as the slide shows, we'll be going on 7 weeks on Thursday nights to complete a 14-hour course that you can graduate from and get a certificate, graduation and completion certificates, and more awards. And from that, we'll springboard into 5 more Tuesday nights, an extension to move the course out to 24-hour course on some other very important topics as well. So if you want to, I'll be going steady with you all fall. If you want to show up, I'll be here on Wednesday and Thursday nights to begin with, and then wrapping it up on Tuesday nights. The Tuesday night sessions cover a number. Each session will cover, each night we'll have a 2-hour class, but it will have 2 different topics that we discuss. So that we're really kind of fine-tuning, building your skills and areas that people that are starting businesses really need to be aware of. A lot of certificates and awards are available to you. They have been sent to you in your handouts. You can read these individually. But we encourage people to come back year after year or season after seasons, because our classes are always changing and we're adding new stuff to it. Just like April's just came on board with us tonight. Welcome, April. It's good to have you back. And Angela's been with us before through the whole series. I hope you enjoy the classes, and we certainly look forward to sending you master's certificates and associate's certificates. As your knowledge grows, I'll be glad to send you more and more certificates each time. There are some requirements that you need to attend a certain number of classes, and when you do attend, please try to stay on board for most of the class. That way we can give you credit for it, and the Small Business Center gets to give you credit as well. Please remember to register with the Small Business Center on the statewide site, so they'll get credit for your attendance, and we can keep going on. Some people always are going the extra mile, and we're extra proud of those folks. I want to share with you what I've been up to this summer to stay in touch and show you. In the early spring, we had a series of classes, 14 different classes actually, down in Pamlico County. That's in the Bayboro, Oriental, Aurora area. Had a great group of folks down there. About 12 people were on board. And actually saw about 5 businesses actually get jump started and start doing some good business, and putting themselves in a position to make some money. So there's a great group of folks down there. One of them was Tom Davis. Give Tom a great big hello, because he has moved now from talking about to actually helping people with their websites, doing free consultations with marketing. So he's in position now to help you and to help me and other folks with some specialized service. So we're glad to have Tom as a member of our academy. Also, Nicole Collick has done a fantastic job getting her cosmetics and lotions lines up and running. It's operating as Two Creative Sisters. A great logo there, great name. She has a full product line that she's marketing on a website and on Facebook, and going out all over the country, setting up booths and selling her product and doing really, really well. Nicole is also a public servant in the Pamlico County Sheriff's Department, so she knows a lot of people and doing a lot of good. One of our favorites this summer to get to meet was Chuck Palaka. Chuck was wanting to start a woodcraft business. He's always been interested in woodcraft and wanted to do some things about it. And let me tell you, when you hang in here and stay with the program through this series, and we get to know each other, and you're showing me your progress and your videos and what you're trying to do, then we're going to do all we can to promote your business and show you how to promote it right here amongst friends at the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. So Chuck just got started. He was very green, never done any of this before. And so he made a very green video and sent it to us. And we were able to take his video and work on it and improve it. And let me show you what we're able to do with a video that you might be able to send to us.
Hi, my name is Chuck, and I'm in the all-wooden Uniques workshop, where I make various things. You can find various things like bird feeders of various kinds. I love making boxes of different shapes and sizes, jewelry boxes they may become, and of different kinds of wood. Some of our rather exotic kinds of woods. I love making these things. Several months ago, my daughter sent me a picture, and she said, "Hey, I really like what's in this picture. Can you make it for me?" It was a primitive. She likes primitives. And I said, "Sure, I'll make it." And I did, and she loved it. And whenever I go visit my daughter up in Maryland, I look at all the things I made for her. And I am so happy that it makes her happy that these things are in her house. My granddaughter, just the other day, mentioned that she would like to have an island in her kitchen. I said, "I'm happy to make that for you. Just give me the dimensions and I'll go from there." And so that's what she's going to do. Maybe I can do the same for you. You have your eye on something that's really special. I can custom make that for you, just for you. And by the way, if you like heavenly breezes or musical breezes, if you like enchanting sounds outside your house, I custom make wind chimes that are sure to gather your or garner your attention. Again, my name is Chuck, 252-808-7666. Look forward to doing some business with you.
Wouldn't you like to have a commercial that cool, basically free? All you have to do is stay on board with us. We'll show you how to do it, give you the tips, and hopefully give you the encouragement to make it happen. We want you to be successful in your business, and it's kind of hard to get started. You could need some motivation. Well, that's what I'm here to do. I want to tell you about Beverly Harvett in Aurora, North Carolina. This past summer, she has opened up her own boutique store where she's selling all different types of products. She's on Main Street in Aurora. And Aurora Main Street basically consists of a few houses and 3 museums. The Fossil Museum, where they have fossils on display, and people come in from all over the country. Well, on the 4th corner now is Beverly's new store right there, the Blue Crab Boutique. a great new business just opened up. So proud because she did this through the after hard work and studying at the Small Business Center. Of course, she did most of the work. We just gave her the support and some knowledge to do it. Beverly's an artist in her own right, so this is one of her trademark ideas, a good shopping bag. She has all different types of furniture and artwork in her store that she brings across. And remember Chuck? Well, here's some of Chuck's work. She's got it displayed right there along with the two sisters' work as well. Here's some more of Chuck's work. See the other displays around the store. It's a beautiful little store. And let's talk a little bit. I got the hiccups, excuse me. Let's talk a little bit about Valerie Smith, who is a master associate with us. Valerie has, down in Wilmington, has attended a number of our series of classes, and finally, after a number of years, has got her business together. She wants to be in the transportation business, and let's just hear what Valerie did and show you the video that we were able to make through the academy here.
Hi, my name is Valerie Smith. I am the founder of Vertical Transit Plus. This is a transportation service for the disabled and senior population. We offer non-emergency, wheelchair accessible, and door-to-door service. We do medical appointments, recreational, and social events. Please give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Another good example of what we can do. Now let's talk about Clinton, talk about Rayford Wells and his son Rashawn. Rayford's been working a number of years to put himself in position to be a hotshot hauler and to do different types of towing business. Well, praise the Lord, this summer he finally got to the point that he's making it happen. And I happen to be in the position to be able to give him a little business. Rayford got his truck together, a beautiful brand new truck. He's got a great new trailer that he's got to haul his products on. He can haul 3 cars on this, or guess what? He can actually haul some farm equipment on it for Steve. This is a specialized potato digger that Rayford picked up for me in Wilson, where we ship our equipment from. Picked it up in Wilson and hauled it all the way over to the Tennessee line in the North Carolina mountains, and just did a great job. And my customer was happy, and Rayford was too. So I'm glad to see all of us that are able to connect with each other and help each other in our businesses. So it's up to you now. We've got a lot of weeks to work together. So you start creating your own introduction videos like Valerie did and Chuck did and Rayford's doing now. You start working hard on your videos, and we'll work just as hard to help you improve them and get them so that you can turn them into commercials. That's a promise. So I'll fulfill my end if y'all do your part. So work on your introduction videos. Now, getting started, let's have some tiny tips. Just something to always keep in the back of our mind. Always plan that we will have some unexpected events. Keep a good team of people around you, some people you can trust that will give you encouragement and also help you with ideas and listen to what you're saying. I'll be a member of your team. Bart Rice will be a member of your team. Find other people that are going to give you positive support, because you're going to need it as you're building a business. And from time to time, things will go wrong. That's right. We're just going to say that right up front. But we're going to have a tool belt of tools to help straighten it out so we can get things going in the right direction. Your job is to find the endurance to stay in the game. Staying in the game is the key to having a successful business, just like Valerie and Beverly and Rayford all have done. They have stayed in the game long enough to put it together, because this isn't going to happen overnight. You just need to keep working at it, and we'll certainly help do that too. Angela is with us tonight, and she's staying in the game, and she's getting her plan put together now to do catering and do some specialized baking and cooking. And it takes a while to get things together, but so keep at it and stay in the game, and we'll do it. My job is to be assertive and to motivate folks to stop procrastinating and be willing to go ahead and take the next steps. And I promise you, I'll live up to my end, but I want y'all to do y'all's as well. Stay in touch with me. If you don't have it already written down on the handouts that I've sent to you, write it down on your phone, log it in on your phone, or write it down on a piece of paper so you can send me emails. It's up to you to let me know your name and the type of business and your email address. The easiest way to do this is just go to the chat board right here on your computer. If you're watching tonight on a computer, just typing the information in, then I'll have it. Otherwise, if you are doing these series on telephones or out of touch and can't use chat, send me an email, let me know your details, tell me what your next step that you want to do is, and I'll be in a better position to help you get there. So your homework is, you don't have homeworks all the way through this process. You can just come along and watch it and observe and basically enjoy. Or if you want to be serious about getting your business started, you can watch and enjoy and do the homework and literally find time to make these things come together. And at the end of the fall, you will be ready to be in business. So I don't encourage you, we're going to talk about getting you a website. I do want you on Facebook, and I want to see that Facebook link because we'll use that extensively. I'd like to see some personal photos, some product photos of you and your products, and permission to use them here on the program, just like I was doing with our associates I just showed you pictures of. It's going to be important that after you get your business ready that you get a Google My Business account and that we start doing some YouTube videos to help promote your business because they're going to be so important. Now, Bart has sent to you some handouts if you register with him. If you didn't register with Bart, I want you to start registering with the Small Business Center before each session because that's how we get our funding. They have to see that registration on board. And the handouts that are sent out tonight is one that starts with number 980, which is the main talking points about what we're doing tonight. And then you've got one that gives you all your dates for the future webinars. Then there's one on the 40 Main Street Smart Steals, one about fair market value, proper marketable profit centers, a list of 50 businesses you can start with $100 or less, tips about naming your business, etc., and how to create your mission, vision, promise statements, how to do this, and how important it is. I've given you enough information in this handout that you should be able to complete your promise statements and core values in less than an hour just by using the handouts that I've given to you because I've covered all the buzzwords and give you a lot to think about so that you can put this together and then benefit from having those. In each of our first 5 sessions, we're going to talk about drill skills. But I'm going to say to you that the drill skill handout that you have is maybe one of the more important ones that you have because I want you to become so familiar with all these drill skills that it's almost like a part of your DNA. And my promise to you is once you have mastered these and you have them at your fingertips and part of your tool belt, you will have a better business. You will have less stress. You will make more money. You will make less mistakes. So this sheet of drill skills and the ones that I'm sending to you has 30 of these are on video, so you can actually watch them, videos that I've done, and I spend more time on them than I do here on the during the webinar because I have more time. But the drill skills are very, very important. So our first 5 nights, we're going to talk about 8 different skills. We'll go through them pretty quickly because you can practice them at home. And by the end of this session, we will have done all 40, and you'll have a chance to rewrite them yourself and apply them to your business. Number 1, week number 1, drill skill number 1. What does a great business plan do for you? It tells you what's next. Not only does it help us avoid pitfalls and unexpected expenses, but it tells you what's left. It tells you what's left after we subtract our estimated expenses from our estimated income, and it's what's left is what we've got left to live on. It's what we got left to pay our bills with. So we need that business plan to be able to move forward. And what will a marketing plan do for you? Why do you want a marketing plan? Because the marketing plan is going to help you have some golden eggs that come from a golden goose marketing plan. But what are we after? We want to know what's next. We want to be able to know that our business is still going to be in business next week or next month or next year. And a good, solid, structured marketing plan will certainly help you get there. So that's drill skill number 2. Number 3 is all about marketable profit centers. And if you hadn't ever heard of this term before, read your handout and go into it deeply, explaining what a marketable profit center is. But simply, it is a way to make money. And there's 3 different types of marketable profit centers. 3 types. Yep, 3. Number 1, bring in new traffic every day. Bring in new customers. We need new customers for a new business, of course, but even an old business loses 1/3 of its customers every year, so we're always needing to bring in new customers. Profit centers number 2, focus on merchandising sales and repeat business. Repeat business is what makes us sustainable. It's what helps us stay in business month after month, year after year, 50, 60, 70 years. Is it important? You better believe it, but you've got to have certain type of profit centers to bring those customers in. Number 3 is we want some big ticket sales someday. We want to make some large deposits. And to have large deposits, we have to group our products, or we actually have to sell some products that have very high price tags on them. Products like tractors or cars or trucks or real estate. So we need some type of big ticket sales to have a chance to put together some significant profits, deposits, and be able to save some money and create some reserves. Now, while there's 3 different types of marketable profit centers, I want you to have at least 5 different ways to make money in your business. I'll guarantee you that if you just have one way of making money, it will go south one day and die on you. But if you've got at least 5 different things going on that's generating income, your business has a chance to make it for a long time. It has a chance to have business all year round instead of just in 1 or 2 seasons. And that is so important to generate year-round income. If you've got multiple profit centers, you'll be able to serve lots of different customer groups. So you're not going to be dependent on just one small group of customers. And if you've got marketable profit centers, you'll be able to enjoy upsells, link sales, bundle sales. The more profit centers you have, the better off you are when it comes to selling. Marketable profit centers are a key to your growth and a key to your cash flow. Number 4 is the RFC. The RFC is the raving fan customer, and we want raving fan customers. Yeah, you can have loyal and good and devoted and regular customers, but it's the raving fan customer that goes out in the world and encourages other people to come and do business with you. It don't happen by itself. You have to create a raving fan customer, and I'm promising you right now that in week 3 and or week 4, I'm going to show you how to create a raving fan customer. It'll be a valuable, valuable tip to you that'll be worth hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of dollars to you in your business journey. 4 simple letters, NDCP, remind us that no demand. If you don't have demand for something, change the plan. The key words are change the plan, don't throw it away. I see too many entrepreneurs get started with their plan and things don't work out just right, and so they just give up and throw it away. And that is such a mistake because you've invested money and time developing your plan. Stay with it. Let us help you modify that business plan so it can be profitable for you, or figure out what to replace it with. NDCP. Number 6, ABCD. That's as elementary as we can get. And elementary is the clue here because it stands for always be connecting the dots. We want to connect our dots in our business in a circle so that every decision we make, each one of these dots represents a decision that you make, or an investment that you make, or someone that you hire, or a type of product that you bring on board. Every time we need to make a decision, it needs to make sense in the big picture. Are we connecting our dots in a circle so that we can have a wheel that keeps on rolling, staying rolling year after year? Or are we making some mistakes in our investments and our thinking that are putting bumps in the road? So always be connecting the dots in a way that makes sense for the long-term good of the business. Number 7, 3 big words: by the way. By the way, by the way, by the way. If you don't get a tattoo tomorrow, put it across your forehead that says, and by the way. Because every time you say, and by the way, as a small business person, provided you've got multiple profit centers, you're going to be able to have upsells, you're going to be able to do cross sales, and you're going to be able to stack your profits by using the words by the way. So very important. And over in week 3 and 4 and 5, you're going to see what a big deal that is. Let's talk about catching some fish. I know we're not fishing tonight, but I like to fish. So I don't talk to you about catching fish on the ocean. If you go out on the ocean, there's 3 ways that you're going to catch fish. 3 rules. Rule number 1, keep fresh bait in the water. Rule number 2, keep fresh bait in the water. And guess what number 3 is? Yep, keep fresh bait in the water. Because if you're keeping fresh bait in the water, you will catch fish out there. But what's that got to do with you and I tonight? Because we're not catching fish, we want to catch customers, right? We want to have sales. So I don't say to you that just like fishing, if you keep continuous promotions in front of your customers, like keeping fresh bait in front of fish, you will catch sales. You will have a business. But you have to keep those fresh promotions out there in front of the customers. It's just as simple as it can be. Very, very important rule. Your handout tonight is based on my manuscript of the book that I wrote. So there's a lot more information in the handout than there is on what we'll see on the screen in the slides tonight. So when you have a chance, read through the handout, because there's lots and lots of tips there that I won't mention tonight, but will be beneficial for you. There's really no need for you to go out and buy this book. Of course, I'd appreciate it if you would and give it to somebody for Christmas, but because your manuscript is right in the handout. If you go to a business coach, they're going to have some questions asked of you. They're going to want to know a few things. Number 1, they want to know if you're going to be active in the business. Are you going to be active in the business, or is it going to be a full-time or a part-time proposition for you? How much time are you going to spend in that business? It's really important that you make a determination on that, because when we're doing our business plan, that's going to have a lot to do with how we put it together. I see we have some more people on board tonight. Sarita Sampson is with us from Clinton. Hey, Sarita, glad to have you on board. Sarita is a master's associate, and she helps us with her certificate work and lots of other things. Such a great lady. She's going to be a virtual assistant and promoter and marketing manager for a lot of you one day maybe, so I'm glad to have you on board tonight, Sarita. But so Sarita is working, actually being at some point in time a full-time operator, but until then we'll all be part-times. But how much time are you actually going to give to your business? Because we're going to need to know that, so we'll know how much money you're going to need to make each hour that you're there, and then put together a business plan that will help you do that. So that's a question for you to answer. And because when it's time to do the business plans next week, that'll play into a big factor. Now, is your business going to be a home-based business, a mobile business, an internet business, or have a bricks and mortar storefront, or maybe some of the above? Each one of these will have a different type of plan to go with them. So if you're doing some of each, our business plan will have to accommodate all of them. Which is the most expensive to operate here? Of course, it's the bricks and mortar business, which would be the least expensive to operate. would be a home-based business because you're not having to pay rent, insurance, and places, things like that at a second store. So how can I tell you to get ready to do these things? Well, first we need to determine which is going to suit you best and how much money you got ready to start, and are you set up to handle it at your home. A mobile business is one where you wake up in the morning at home and go mobile. In other words, you leave your home on a truck or a trailer or a van going out and doing business on a mobile way. That's a heck of a good way to do business. A lot of people do it every single day. So something to think about. And maybe it's the combination of things that will make it work for you. For example, me, I work at home at an outside office, but my office is right here at my home address. And when I'm giving webinars and seminars, I get in the car and I go somewhere else and do the work. That makes me mobile. Or if I'm out selling equipment to customers, if I'm actually cold calling or calling on customers, I'm mobile. And a third type is I'm on the internet as well, just like here we are tonight, but also our website makes us an internet business. If you have an interest in doing any or all of these and not quite sure how to put it together, let's talk. Share with me what's on your mind, what you're thinking about, because it's going to be important for all of you to have an internet factor to your business. Maybe it's not going to be a website, but it could be just an internet advertising or marketing through social media. But through the process of this course, you're going to find out, and we're going to help you do it. So hang on, we're after it. Big question is, what date do you want your business actually to be open, running, and making money? What is the date? Well, here we are in September, and I don't tell you if we're going to operate 6 months in the future, then a reasonable date is for you to say April 1st, 2023. Or maybe you want to wait till after summertime, and you might say June 1st or May 31st, 2023. Maybe you're in a bigger hurry than that. Whatever it is, you come up with that date, because next week we're going to talk about, start listing the things that you're going to need to do before that date to help you make sure you got everything covered. That will be our business planner, not a business plan, because we don't need to do a business planner before we worry about a business plan. Homework, homework, homework. Start right now listing the products that you think you can sell. These products are going to be your marketable profit centers. List now the services that you're going to provide. Let's say that you're not a product sales organization. You're going to be providing services for sale. List down those services and break them down so that you can suit them into as many niche market or customer groups as possible. We'll need those because they will be the individual items on the revenue generating part of our business plan. So everything here is tied together. We're connecting the dots in such a way that you're not going to waste any time. Now, a little on the aside, but a personal note, I need for you to ask yourself, is your credit history or standings tonight in a position that you think a lender would welcome the opportunity to lend money to you? Or do you think maybe it needs a little enhancement or improvement, as most of us do? If that's the case, over in the chat button, go ahead and write in there that you'd like to receive a study guide on how to start improving your credit score. I'll be glad to email that to you tomorrow, but you're going to need to ask for it over in the chat button or send me an email. Natasha, I'm glad to have you on board tonight. Welcome. It's good to have you here. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Okay, don't spend more time on this than I ever have before in my 15 years of teaching these, and that's talking about the purpose of your business and me encouraging you to write a mission, a vision, and a promise statement, and to list down the core values that you want for your business. So very important. You know, we think about our business being marketing and advertising and what we look like to the rest of the world. But it is so important that we also consider what we're doing individually, internally, ourselves every day in this business, and what's it looking like for us. And that's where it's important for you and you alone to determine where you want to go in the future. What is the map that you want to follow? What are the core values that you want to view in your new business? And let's have a mission and a vision and a promise statement where you basically say what you want your company to do for the community, for its customers, what you're going to do for the customers and the employees, and what standards that you want to maintain as an owner of a company. Once you define this and put it into a simple 2 or 3 sentence statement, and you start using that and you showing it to your customers and the public every day, it's going to give you a re-encouragement of your own values and a good feeling about what you're doing. When I did the core values for Carver Equipment Company this past spring when we were working in Pamlico, I just came up with the 5 things that I thought was most important, and like respecting every person, maintaining high standards, earning trust, fostering partnerships with my customers and my employees and other associates, and embracing excellence. In other words, always raising the standards. Now, you probably share these core values. If you do, you're welcome to use them, or maybe you want some other different ones. In the handouts that I sent to you, you've got 3 or 4 pages of lots and lots of other ideas that you might pick up. Some of them will adapt to you. I'm encouraging you as part of your homework to tell me what the 5 core values that you are picking out for you and your business, and then start doing your mission statements. My mission statement for my website company, providing affordable priced implements at highest quality, and also providing part support. The vision is basically to have a long-term relationship with customers, is to create long-term relationships with my customers based on trust and dependability. That's just plain and simple and open, isn't it? And I don't promise to bring new products to better serve the customers when I can. When you're making promises to the customers like this, you know what it does? It makes you different from all the other businesses in the whole cotton picking world, because so few are willing to put their statements out here where people can read them. And if you are willing to do that, I'm going to tell you some people will be willing to do business with you. It is so important. Next, every time you put that in an email or you have it on your website and you look at it yourself, it strengthens your resolve to live up to what you're trying to say. And then I like what we're doing now in the world by encouraging people to do promise statements. This is taking it to the next level where that you're making a commitment to the future to do what you want to do with your company and to show just where it can go. So I want to have a company that welcomes every customer, every associate and vendor with enthusiasm and dignity and goodwill. Every time one of you come to one of my webinars, I want you to feel welcome. And I'm proud to say that I believe it enough, I'm putting it in writing. I want us to maintain the highest standards of ethics and hospitality and customer service. Hey, in this country where it stands right now, with so many people lying and cheating and stealing, don't you think it's kind of healthy that some businesses would say, we're going to strive for higher standards, ethics and hospitality and customer service? What's wrong with that? I feel good about it, and I feel good about trying to make that a goal. And I also have no problem of testifying that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I can say without any doubt, I feel good about promising. I'd like to be for us all to be a whole lot less like ourselves and a whole lot more like Jesus. So what does that hurt? To remind ourselves of that every day. You know what? Every day I'll see that and I'll kind of change my way of thinking on something, or maybe use a few different words from time to time when I'm talking with a customer. And it just helps my attitude. And I'm glad to see my customers are enjoying it too, because several will comment, thank you for taking that position. Now, in your handouts and here on the screen, I've gone the extra mile to write statements for the Academy. tell him what we believe in and what we're trying to do as an Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. I have a good mission statement for us. I feel good about it and hope you will. For you to be a member of the Academy, as several here that are with us tonight, all you have to do is complete one of our courses, and then you're automatically an associate. And if you come back the second year, you're an advanced associate, and then after that you become a master's, 1, 2, 3, depending on how many sessions that you come to. But what we're after is a viable organization of small business entrepreneurs just like you, mentors and advisors like me, and those of you who have already graduated, to be dedicated to mutual helpfulness. Isn't that nice? To be dedicated to help each other, and that's what I want this Academy to be. And I don't promise that I don't do the best I can to help us all set high standards and to do more and better for our community, civic, and service work and religious organizations. I've got what I think is a good pledge. I'd appreciate y'all reading it and giving me feedback on it. And as members of the Academy, if you want to change it or make suggestions, let me know about it. We'll sure consider it. Now, back to basics. I'm your coach. I'm here working for you, but I also want you to have a mentor and an advisor and a counselor, or one person being all of those. The more folks you have to help you, the better off we're going to be. Diversification is the key to success here. More products, more types of services equals more customers you can do business with. A positive attitude is a must for you to have a good foundation to move forward. Your personal income is going to suffer when you start a new business unless you've got instant cash flow, and instant cash flow is mighty hard to come by. So just know up front that your mortgage payments, your home rentals, your insurance premiums, your car payments, personal expenses, they're going to keep on. So when you start building this new business, we don't need to wait to create some income to make it get up and go. I know that. That's why sometimes I know it's not going to happen in a month or two. It might take several years, but keep at it. We'll get there. What are we going to be doing now? Next week, we're not going to wait a long time. Next week, this work I've already asked you to do for your homework, we're going to start feeding it into a business planner. And generally, we'll look 6 months down the road. Not necessarily that you'll have your business open in 6 months, but what point do you need to be in 6 months? And with that information, we'll say, okay, this month we need to get these 3 things done. We're setting priorities is what we're doing. Next month, we need to get these 3 things done, and so forth, so that by the time you're climbing the steps all the time, you're on your journey to having a successful business, but it helps if we do it one step at a time. One step at a time, and every time we go past a milepost, we know that we're making progress on it. Solid foundation is a must, and a solid foundation means that you've got the charisma and the endurance to say, I'm making a start, or I am here and I want to go there. But you have to find the encouragement to actually move forward and stick your feet in the water, just like with Valerie going out and purchasing that expensive van, used up a lot of her savings to do that. With Rayford buying that truck and trailer, spending $70,000-$80,000 on business to come, that takes a lot of courage. But if it's the first step you need to make, even though it may seem exactly really huge, it's really a small step in the big picture. Let's find the courage to take that first step. Now, if you're facing that first step right now, you know what it is. I don't yet because you hadn't told me. But you're welcome to write me an email and let me know and ask for tips how to get there, or give Mr. Bart Rice a call and set up an appointment with him and talk to him about it. And if you're not in the Sampson area, let me know where you are, and I'll put you in touch with a director close to you. They'll be happy to see you. Even though you came to my seminar, they still are looking forward to meeting you and helping you. Are you going to be legal in business? You are. Let me just assure you, to stay in business, you're going to be legal. And that doesn't mean that you're going out here doing illegal things, but I'm talking about in the corporate eyes and the tax eyes. Being legal pretty much means, are you okay with your zoning rules? Are you okay with your taxes? Are you collecting and paying tax when you ought to? Are you reporting your income? Or do you have the right credentials to do the business you're doing, like insurance or bonding? Are you incorporated, and do you need to be incorporated? Well, first of all, you can operate as a business as a sole proprietor and be just as legal as you need to be. People get incorporated when they're out serving the public and have liabilities, maybe where they could be insurance issues or concerned about your personal assets or debts. Then it's time to become an LLC. You will know that time when you actually start to get in business, and it's not a big thing to worry about right now, but it is something that's going to have to be done. Again, I told you I am not a tax lawyer or a CPA, but I can assure you that 90% of you, that if you don't become incorporated, will do it as a limited liability company. That word there on the screen that says corporation should be changed to company, and I'll do that next time around. I've been making that mistake for a lot of years. Somebody set me straight this past week. But the LLC is a simple way to become incorporated so that you can get your insurance, so that you can get your business checking account, business savings account, credit cards, things in the business name. You need to know what that name is. So that's why that handout that I sent to you about naming your business, you might want to read that before you start that process. How much does it cost to get an LLC? About $250. How much time does it take? About 20 minutes. Can you do it yourself? You can. You can do it online, or most any bookkeeper or accountant can do it for you very quickly, and some other associates can as well. Now, you don't have to face some risk. Being in business, making money, is a gambling. It's gambling. There are risks involved. And sometimes people will get started and see that they've got these risks, and by golly, they get afraid and they just quit, throw their heads up and quit. Well, what I want to tell you that if it's for every risk that you're going to face, there is a risk management tool that you can use that will help you get past it. So don't let the fact that risks are involved scare you, because in the process of the next few weeks, Wood will talk about pretty much all the risks that you can think of, and talk about a way to keep them from sinking your boat. If you got some particular risks that you're concerned about, drop me an email. We'll talk about them individually. Are you going to be able to do this business stuff all by yourself? Well, let me tell you, starting a business, if you're dedicated for it to really move in a hurry, it's going to take a lot of hours. You don't have to start real early some mornings and work real late at night. Look here, this old boy right here, I'm keeping my business going. Here it is. I'll be working till 9 o'clock tonight, sorting through all the things we talked about. And I started at 5:30 this morning. And I basically hadn't had much of a break. But it's a real busy week. I have some busy times. I love it. I'm not complaining. I'll sleep good tonight, I think. But that's part of being an entrepreneur. And so you just need to know that that's coming. You're going to work more hours. You're going to have a harder time managing your time. You'll start early and work late. And there will be times when everything at home will seem like it's upside down. Because that time you've been doing fishing and child care, romantic dates, playing with the kids, and some shopping sprees, it's going to be hard to find time to do that when you're starting your business. So just know that. Talk to your spouse about it. Make sure they're not going to have an unhappy ending for you when they just tell you it ain't going to work. The business has got to go, or you got to go. Just don't let it get to that point. Be open and frank, and know that priorities have to be set, and that's why this isn't going to happen just all of a sudden. Priorities are going to be set, and we're going to have to do some delegating, because to find some time, maybe you don't have to let some other people help you along the way. Are you worried about the local laws? Well, the good news is every town has got a website. And every website will tell you the local laws related to small business and what entrepreneurs need to do to become legal in that town. It'll talk to you about the fire laws. It'll talk to you about the signs. It'll talk to you about the different registrations you need. And is this something you need to be afraid of? No. But it's definitely something you need to be aware of before you start making decisions on buying property or building something where it may make a difference. You do need an EIN number, an employee identification number. The EIN number to a business is like the Social Security number is to you. Every time a new baby is born, they get a Social Security number. Every time a new baby business is born, it gets an EIN number as a way that the government and other people can identify who you are versus the whole rest of the world. So you can get your own EIN number just by going to the IRS website, and they got a place over in the menu to get employee identification numbers. It'll take you about 30 minutes to enter all the information. Before you go there, you need to know what the name of your business is going to be. So you'll name your business. You'll go to the Secretary of State, North Carolina Secretary of State, Corporate Division, and see if this business name you picked out has already been selected by someone. Because in every state, there can't be but one business with that name. So that's the way that you do that. At the IRS site, you'll get your EIN number. Then you'll be able to get insurance in the company name and get a business banking account at the bank, or maybe order credit cards, or maybe set up a credit line in the business name. That's what the EIN number is. You need to remember that just because you're doing this in the business name, you as the owner will always be co-signing and signing right along beside as an individual everything related to your business. Are you concerned about sales tax and resale tax exemptions? The North Carolina Department of Revenue, which we'll call the NCDOR, has local offices in a lot of the major towns around North Carolina, and they welcome entrepreneurs to come in. I'd want you to call or send an email in and make an appointment before you go, because in these times of COVID and it's just good business to have an appointment. That'll help you out. NCDOR. They do have a website with a whole section dedicated to helping entrepreneurs like you. I suggest that if you are planning on being involved in your own tax accounting or sales tax issues or resale, that you go to that website, you read through it. But the good news is they welcome your phone calls, they'll welcome your visit. These are really good people, trained professionals to help folks like you and I in a positive way. Yeah, you're going to need a business license, permit, privilege license. Different towns call them different things, but that is that you're registered in your local community to do business. Is this very expensive? It is not. In most communities, like in Dunn, here's a copy of my business license right here. I've had it for now lots and lots of years, since 1959. It's about 64 years. Basically, it's just a simple form that's got your business name on it and certifies that you've registered for this year, and you pay them $30 to $100 depending on how big your business is, and in some towns there's no charge at all. But what you're doing is you're saying to the city government, to the police department and the fire department, that you're in business and you're here to stay. And that is a good thing, because what it does is they know who's supposed to be here, and then when flim-flam artists move in, or strange people or shady folks move in, pretend to be doing business, they're able to zero in on them, ask them who they are they registered to do business? And if they're not supposed to be doing business within the city limits. So that is a good way. Business registrations are good for good businesses, and certainly bad for folks who shouldn't be in business in your town. Another place you can get really good information is from the North Carolina Small Business Center Network's website. They have a ton of good information there, frequently asked questions, page after page of good stuff. So if you're interested in doing some reading, or you have a special thing you're looking for some information on, that's a good place to go. Now we're repeating because now we're talking about what are you going to be doing next week? Working at home, home office work, and leave, doing mobile, or don't have a bricks and mortar business. When we talk about doing the business planning next week, you're going to need to know which one of these it is, and if it's all three, there'll be another plan, a different plan for each one of these entities, because each one of them will require that we do different things. On the different products that you're selling, the NDCP, if it don't sell, we got to change it. So how are we going to determine what's going to work and what's not, as we're asking questions about our plans to sell things? Is this item that you have on your list of marketable profit center, can you sell it? Could I sell it? The issue here is salesmanship. Is it going to take someone that's really going to have to sell it, or is it a product that sells itself? Now, let me give you an example why I'd ask that question, because it's always good if you're selecting products to sell to get a name brand product. So if you're selling Chevrolet cars versus some car that don't have a name on it, which one will be easier to sell? It's the one with a name on it because it has name recognition. So as you're thinking about what you're adding, how difficult will it be to sell? And then, will the customers that you think you can call on, will they buy it? With folks you know, will they buy it? Will they buy it because you're selling it or because what the product is? Because if it's not a good combination there, you might want to revisit what you're planning on selling. And now, who are the people that you're going to call on first? And that's going to be your group of low-hanging fruit, customers that are easy to reach and easy to get to, and that will probably give you business. List down who and where they are. Who and where they are, so that we can start developing a marketing plan week after next. How many of them can you reach? How will you go about reaching them? What media will work? What method will work best? Is it going to need to be a little yard sign? Is it going to need to be a billboard? Is it going to need to be newspaper ads or internet efforts? How are we going to reach these people? See, we're putting together now, we're connecting the dots on making a marketing plan work. Please read the handout about marketable profit centers so that you own what I'm talking about. Because we're going to need to get marketable profit centers that you feel good about, that you can offer to niche markets and customer groups, and therefore help you develop a diversified customer base. That's the goal here, is a diversified customer base being served with a diversified group of products. You see, we're not going to just guess about how to run this business. We're just not going to hope that something works. We're working hard to put a structure here to make it work. Now, reviewing. Profit centers number one, what do? Bring in new customers and promote daily traffic. We'll have some of these listed in your business plan. A profit center number one for a convenience store is gasoline, because if he changes the price of that gallon of gas 1 penny, more and more people will come or go from that store. And if they're selling lottery tickets, the higher the jackpot gets, the more people come in the store. The fast food place has got a $5 meal to bring people in, profit center number one. But now profit center number two is after repeat business. What are we doing for repeat business? Well, at the fast food place, yeah, you come in to buy that $5 meal, but you know what the average meal is there? Is $8 to $10. $9 and a few cents is average, because profit center number one leads people to buying from profit center number two, and profit center number two are the most profitable. The convenience store, when you get them inside, they want you to serve and choose from the merchandising racks, because that's where the profit is. At the car dealerships, they want you to buy parts and accessories. The other wants you to buy new cars, but they don't make much money on new cars, but they make a lot better profits on parts and accessories. And the big ticket items, got to have them. We do that with bundling small priced items or adding high priced items to what we're selling. Even at Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue, where they got you to come in on that $5 meal, once you get in there, you don't have the opportunity to buy some things that cost $370. Big ticket bundled items. See how they bundled all those little items to come up with a big ticket? Because they want them to buy it from you for their catering packages. For you to have a big dream, for your business to do more than just help you buy a few more groceries at Food Line next week, but literally to have a difference in your life, to have a significant difference in the security for yourself and your family and your children, then that big dream needs to involve doing a volume of business that creates a lot of money. And to get there, working as entrepreneurs like me and you, we don't have to find ways to delegate, to find ways to help us make our business grow without taxing our time so much. And the way that we do that is with hiring employees or finding support staffs at organizations to make it happen for us. Also, using the internet and the power of the internet to generate more business with less people. So that is the plan. That's what I've got in mind for you. When you tell me what you want to do, I'm going to try to give you ways that you can get there. You got to remember now, I've helped over 500 people start businesses that are still in business. And I've helped that many or more start businesses that are gone. But there are about 4 or 5 different things. There's about 40 things that if you do, you'll have a chance of making it for the long term, like so many hundreds of my clients have done. And you'll find most of those in those 40 drill skills. I didn't do that just for the fun of it. I did to help you. And if you commit to the 40 drill skills, then I don't tell you, you're probably going to be an excellent entrepreneur one day. To get started, if you're not already there, we don't have to come up with some money to do different things depending on what it is. It may be a lot of money that's going to require a lot of effort, or a little bit that doesn't require much at all. But one way or the other, you need to talk about it and think about it and write it down, because it may affect your family household budget. And because of that, you may start getting some pushback from day one. So hold a family meeting and talk to the folks that are being impacted by this, and make sure that your business is off to a good start and you've got a plan, either fast or slow, that's going to get you to where you want to be with still the family in love with you and in love with this business opportunity that you've got. So let's list down your new expenses you got to spend. I suggest you write them down. That's part of your homework assignment. Write down your startup expenses. And because when you send me a copy of them, I'm probably going to add quite a few to it that you didn't think of, just because that's what experience will help you do. But you're going to have that startup expenses, because it'll be a major part of your business plan that we'll start working on next week. If you don't borrow money at the bank, just like we talked about in the session earlier today, there's a lot of things that you're going to ask. Are you going to be able to borrow money based on your small business plan? No. Will you be able to borrow money based on your credit history? Yes. Will you be able to borrow money based on your credit score and credit worthiness? And do you have a down payment? Yes. Are you going to be able to borrow money based on the fact that maybe you have some collateral? Yes. Will you be able to borrow money based on the fact that you've got a good reputation and you're full of energy and self-confidence? Yes. Will you be able to borrow money if you've got a good business plan? It will help. It'll help a lot. Not necessarily does the plan itself make the difference, but the process of you going through the planning process is going to help bolster your knowledge on all the other things we talked about before then. And then you'll be better suited and be able to present a better case why you deserve to be loaned some money. Who is the big kahuna? Who is the person in your area or that you know of that's doing the kind of business you're thinking about doing? Who is that person that is doing your type of business? Who are they? Because if they're doing it really well, then they know how to do it good, then we want to copy a lot of what they're doing. We want to study what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong, how they're going about their marketing, what they use as sales tools, what customers are they going after. There's no reason in the world for you and I to pull our hair out trying to figure out how to do something that someone else is already doing quite well. That's why researching on the internet, using the right search terms, going and visiting some people, listening a lot, copying what people are doing, making notes of it, and then come back and putting your plan together where you do it better and smarter than what they're doing. Yeah, that makes sense, because if you do that and they've been in business for a lot of years, there's an excellent chance that you will hit the road running and making money a lot sooner than later. So the big kahuna is someone that we want to know who they are and where they are. For the fourth time, I'm going to mention surround yourself with a good advisors and mentors and be willing to sound ideas off of them. In the same token, do not surround yourselves with people that are always talking negative and trying to talk you out of everything just because they're jealous of your enthusiasm. The world is full of those folks. Sometimes they're in your own family. So surround yourself with some advisors and mentors that are willing to help you. Don't be ever discouraged from sending me an email or giving Bart a call, setting up an appointment, letting them know what you've got going on, and maybe some of the challenges that you're facing. You don't have competition out there. I don't tell you that there's enough business for all of us to have a good business. But it's a good idea to study our competition, because they're going to have the same challenges and the same negative issues to face that you are. So before you actually get in the game with them, let's see how they're doing. Because what we're going to end up having to do is outwork them and thank them and do more business than they do. We don't need to outlast them. Remember, we don't need to outlast them so that our business stays in business after they're gone. How do you do that? You take notes on their strengths and weaknesses. You talk to people that have worked for them or done business with them, and you make notes. There's a whole lot of learning here, right? A whole lot of learning about things that are happening right around you every day. But there is a big threat now. And the biggest threat is one that maybe you hadn't concerned. It's one that you don't have to go far to find. It's one that I don't have to go far to find, because the biggest threat that I have against my personal business today, the biggest threat you have that's keeping you from having a successful new small business, are the distractions that you already have in your life. The distractions that you're dealing with every day. Because you've already got a full day, don't you? Start to finish. Well, let me tell you, as we start doing all these new things to get this new business up and running, something else is going to have to be set aside. Because if we're going to keep doing the same thing we've always done, why would we expect anything different to happen? So tonight I'm saying it's time for a new day. Because we're going to need to start setting the right priorities every morning to help us reach the high standards. We're going to have to set priorities every day. And the way I do that is to pick out 3 things every morning that I am do my best to have finished by lunchtime. 3 things that's important for my business that I must do. Whether it's contact customers or contacting individuals or work on my website or change some prices somewhere. There's always plenty to do, and if you don't make a promise to yourself to set priorities to get it done, it's not going to happen. So fighting the distractions so you can live up to your priorities and make them happen will make a primary difference in your life. Now, I started teaching this 3 years ago. And since we started teaching, I probably had no less than 50 of your counterparts and associates to let me know that this thing right here has made such a major difference in their daily life, not only in business but otherwise. because it's making the commitment first thing in the morning to seeing some things through to get them done before lunch. And you can do this very easily. It's kind of making a promise to yourself. Now, sometimes it don't work. I know that. But you know what? Some other days I'm able to get 6 things done instead of just 3. And therefore my days are a lot more productive because of that. And I know it, and I've got a better frame of mind in not being afraid of getting so bogged down with distractions that I can't move my business forward. You kind of need that internal help. You kind of need that internal spirit of commitment to make it happen, and put some other things aside. Give it a try. I think you'll find it to be very, very helpful, not only in your business, but in your daily life. Now, how are you going to make it for the long haul? What are the things that we need to think about in the big picture now, in the big picture, to help us frame ourselves to start down this road for the next 7 weeks? First, we're going to keep in mind that our business can't be all things to all people. Our business cannot be all things to all people. However, for it to be sustainable, it must be everything to some people. Our business must be everything to some people to last. Those some people will become our raving fan customers, which will keep us in business. We're going to need to have a target group of customers. When we're up and running and ready to run, we're going to need to have a written down, structured database of customer names that are representing the customer groups for the niche markets that we're going to try real hard to sell to. That's right. That'll be one of the things we'll have. We're going to have to create a database of email addresses and cell phone numbers, because we don't keep fresh bait in the water by using that database to stay in touch with them. Then we're going to have that list of promotions we're going to do. Every 2 months or so, we're going to do a new promotion, send it out to all the people on that database. And then we're going to follow up with sales, follow up, because that's, again, how we create raving fan customers and get repeat business. So when you look at this slide, hopefully what you're seeing is a structured plan for a business to work. People who start businesses that do not have a structured plan to make sure that it works go out of business. Sailors and fishermen that go out in the ocean without the right tools and navigation tools and a plan sink to the bottom of the ocean. The way you make it in this world in the small business is to have a structured plan, and you have the discipline to stay with it and the endurance to see it to the finish line. It's not rocket science, my friends. I'm not a rocket scientist. My dad was not a rocket scientist, but he was a good business person, and he taught me good business principles. And in the last 15 years, you all have taught me a lot of good business principles. And I don't say to you that the things on this slide right here can be the golden rule of staying in business. It is staying with it and hanging in there. Now, you got a handout that's talking about naming your business and your DBAs. And this is the first time I've used the term DBA tonight, but in the course of this program, or in the course of this business course, we'll use DBAs a lot, because DBAs are how we're going to take these multiple profit centers and make them attractive to different people. So read the handout very, very carefully. It'll be important to you and to life for your business. Well, I mentioned business plan a lot. Do you need a business plan? You do. But the reality of it is sometimes you have to be in business a year or two before you can write a really nice business plan. Just say that. But before you get there, we need a business plan, tentative, to help us avoid pitfalls and expenses. So yes, we need that business plan, and we're going to start on it next week. The first way we're going to start on it is, we're going to talk about putting a planner together to look at the first 6 months and list down the things that need to be done during the first 6 months. And then the business plan will start coming together as we work through all these other issues. Remember, everything on every one of these slides represented one of those dots, and that dot's going to be in a circle, so your business will roll and roll and roll year after year after year. You don't build a business plan to start and stop all the time. You build a business plan to keep on rolling. Part of what we're going to talk about in week 4, when we talk about pricing and merchandising and things like that, is I don't want you to give discounts. I don't want you to give discounts. But Steve, I know you give discounts every day. You're considered one of the best discounters in the implement world, and I am. But the key here is the rest of that sentence, in that I don't want you to give discounts that you didn't plan to give. Discount is a real important part of the marketing world today, and how you use that in your presentations. Because if you're just saying take it or leave it, whoo-wee, that's a bad thing to do. If you're just saying take it or leave it, 80% of your shoppers are leaving it. So using discounts and creative pricing is so important. So we're going to learn how to do that. We're going to learn, I'm going to teach you how to price your products and services in such a way that you can negotiate, you can offer a discount, you can give some incentives, but still end up with the profits that you had planned to have. That's a pretty cool thing to know, isn't it? And if you don't know that, then you're going to have a hard time staying in business. The cost of doing business has got to be figured into your planning process when we're pricing. And we will do that. We have to do that. But then, you know what? People have trade-ins or want to negotiate. They want a little discount. They want a little off the advertised sale price. So how do you do that? I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to price your products. But you don't need to hang in here to learn it and let it soak in. And you might have to come back 2 or 3 times, but you'll get it. So let's just talk about it now, let the dust settle. If you have got some questions that have come up, now's a good time to go to the chat board and ask any questions that you might have. It's so good to have Angela and Sarita back on board with us tonight, and April. I've missed y'all this summer and glad to see you back. And Sheila, good to see you back from last spring as well. If y'all had some questions or things that have come up this summer as you're moving your business forward, drop me a note. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we need to do this fall to help you get to the new level. That's the beauty of the Academy of Associates, in that folks that are here for the first year just getting started get the benefit of seeing what folks that have been trying to get their business up and running for 2 or 3 years, what you're facing. And so we all gain from that common knowledge being shared to how to get to the next point. That is an important step that we can use, that if you have a certain plateau or a certain point that you want to get to that you're just not quite there yet and wondering how to do it, let me know that, what the next important step is that you need to reach, because that's what we want to focus on. We want to help you make progress. Maybe not in the next 6 months go from 0 to having a great big business and making money, but go from 0 to being closer to that point and feeling good about it and not losing any money or time. But I'll focus now on some points that are so important, because and I've been guilty of this, is thinking about these classes need to be all about what we look like to the community. This marketing and showmanship and salesmanship and introductions and all that, and making our business look a certain way and our presentations be a certain thing to the outside world. But during the past few months, and especially after working this summer with hands-on with the folks in Pamlico, I've come to the realization that maybe it's more important that we think about what starting this business and being an entrepreneurship looks like to us internally. What do we look like when we look at ourselves in the mirror? What are we trying to achieve as individuals? Because you know what? When the bottom line is, who do we look at more than anyone else? It's ourselves in that mirror, right? And are we proud of what we're doing? Are we out here just to make another dollar? Are we out here because we're hungry? And a lot of us, that's the answers are yes. And if that's the only reason we're out here, it's a mighty boring thing to be. But if we're out here to build our self-image, not from the standpoint of being boastful and proud, but just so that we feel good inside that we're doing the right stuff in our eyes and in our family eyes. And all this comes back to putting principles in front of your profits. It needs to be more, to me, it needs to be more important to me that when I finish doing business with this customer, that I've got a good relationship started with them than it is that I made $5 more or $100 more off of a deal. Because if you are feeling good about building relationships with people and they're trusting you, then they're going to come back to you time after time, and you're going to make many hundreds of more dollars. But if your attitude is, I'm going to make every time that extra dollar profit, then you will be slowly driving your customers away. So putting the principles in front of profits, how do you do that? I want to give you some examples. First of all, you decide to take the high road sometimes, the more difficult road. Maybe the road that helps you have a few less dollars, but maybe you tell more truth. Maybe you just flat say, I don't know the answer to that. We do a lot less lying about our deliveries and what something will do, and being more truthful. And when we don't know, just say, I don't know. I know I'm doing that a whole lot more often now. And as old as I am, I've been in this game longer than almost any of my competitors. But still, you know, there's a lot I don't know because things are changing. I am very interested in, when I hang up the phone or close a deal with a customer, that what's on their mind is, I really enjoyed doing business with Steve and at CarverEquipment.com. It was a good experience. And maybe we didn't do the deal. Maybe we talked about it and I didn't close it. But when we've determined we're not going to do the business, we part company being friends, and they have a willingness and an interest to come back next time and let's try it again. Maybe I just didn't have the right price this time or the right product. But if I'm feeling good about myself and making them feel good about doing business with me, that goes a long, long way to repeat business. I want you to think about that. Let that sink in as we get started. If we get started off on helping you start your business with that, it'll go a long way. Now, do you want to be a giver or a taker? Is your legacy one that did all you could do to help your community and other people? Or is your legacy going to be one that I was a profit-hungry son of a gun that did ruthless? If I had to go into bankruptcy to make my money and bankrupt others, I'd do it. If I had to tell lies or to always be talking about other people were lying about me, mainly because I tell so many lies, I don't want nobody to know what the truth is. And there's more and more of those people being out in business today than I've ever seen before. The recent politics are really blooming what's supposed to be the advantage of telling lies, and to come up with having no room for the truth. In the real long-term world, with the folks that you and I want to do business with, I think truth is going to be important. So the first impressions you make, being honest and being proud of the fact that you've got your mission and vision and promise statements out there for someone to say, you're testifying, whether you know it or not, you're testifying that you're going to be telling the truth. And you're going to do all that you can to be a good, trustworthy person. Being in church, going to civic organizations, taking leadership roles, joining the Chamber of Commerce. There's a lot that you can do to help you become a giver versus a taker, and to help your business be known as one that is worthy and needs to stay around. A few weeks ago, I was in church in Elizabethtown, and Pastor Jason Williams there preached a sermon called, You Must Have Endurance to Finish Strong. Well, of course, he was talking about finishing strong and ended up in heaven, and I understand that totally. But as I listened to that sermon, and I agree with everything he was saying and started making some notes, it became clear to me that we got to have endurance and finish strong in business. It's an exact parallel. So I took his examples, and I'm using them now. I'm sure he won't mind, about how can we find endurance in business to see it through the long term. We're here tonight talking about what you want to know to start a business, but I want us to talk about we need to know some things that it takes to finish strong at the business too. Number one, pace yourself. Pace yourself and don't get in too big a hurry, but don't give yourself too much room for procrastination. Keep moving forward. Very important to keep moving forward at a pace that suits you. My pace might be faster than yours. I'm going to encourage you just to keep at your pace. So I'm going to try to tone myself down a little bit. You see where I'm coming from? It's making a difference even in what I'm saying. Pace yourself. Go at your rate, not necessarily mine or the Chamber of Commerce or the Small Business Center. Keep moving forward. I'm so proud to see 4 people on here that have kept moving forward at their own pace, and you're getting there, and I'm proud of you. Let's just face the fact that we don't know it all. I don't know it all. I learn things every day, and I look forward to hearing what y'all have to say. That's why I encourage our conversations, because when you're talking with me and with the other classmates here at the Academy, you're helping us all learn more. And the fact that if you ask a question, it's just to the point that we ask questions because we don't know it all and we don't have to pretend to. So it is good to ask questions, and we humble ourselves when we do that. And in my light, that is a very positive thing to do. In the light of your customers don't expect you to know it all. They expect you to be truthful with what you do know, but they respect you when you say, I just don't know that yet, but I'll try to find the answer out. Folks like that in today's world, instead of being someone that boasts about, I know it all. No one wants to do business with that person. Now, I want you to find an inspiration somewhere. Hopefully, I can be an inspiration to some of you from day to day. I try to be. But I need my inspirations too. Maybe it's a book that you read, or an author that you like. Maybe it's someone you listen to on the radio that inspires you. Maybe it's a poetry or someone that you can call up. Maybe it's a loved one you can call up. Maybe it's the power of prayer. Maybe you draw your inspiration from prayer, from your scriptures or whatever. It's full of those types of things to think about. Find a place that you can draw some energy. Find a place that you can feel good about not feeling bad. I mean, every day doesn't mean you're going to wake up wide open and ready to hit the gas pedal, right? It's not that way with me. I mean, I take 18 pills every day. I have to have several cups of coffee to find a little enough inspiration to get moving. But let me tell you, we got to put that smile on our face and get out here and say, I am glad to have another day to live and to do business. So wherever you find your inspiration, go for it and hold on to it. It's an important part of endurance. We have to keep on, so that when someone says, how are you doing today? You're always going to be saying, it's a great day, another day in paradise. I'm ready to go for it, and I'm glad to see you are right here with me. Be happy. That's right. Now, here's something we all like, which is drop a few pounds. Old Papa Steve-O's got a lot of pounds I can drop, but I'm not talking about weight. But to have endurance, if you're a runner, you got to drop a few pounds just to keep your weight down, right? And if you're a runner, you got to have endurance just to know how to breathe and go forward. But dropping a few pounds I'm talking about tonight here it is. And let me ask you, do you have any of these pounds that maybe we can drop before we start this new business? Can we drop a few pounds of negative attitude? Can we drop a few pounds of procrastination? Can we drop a few pounds of excuses? Maybe we need to drop a few pounds of friends that are really friends that aren't encouraging us the right way. Or maybe we need to drop a few pounds of what we think are our friends that are making us do some bad habits. Those are the kind of pounds that we all can look around and say that if I don't have the true endurance to see it through in this new small business I'm getting ready to start, or maybe this new way of living I'm getting ready to start, I need to drop a few pounds. Maybe I need to drop a few pounds of booze or of smoking, or maybe I need to drop a few pounds of selfishness. We all have some of those things to deal with. Now, I'm not pretending to be a preacher here. I am pretending to be a business coach that's encouraging you to put yourself in the best shape possible to see it through on making this small business work for you. And now let's focus on the finish line. Endurance is all about finishing strong at the finish line. Now, the finish line for me might be one thing, but the finish line for you may be, I just want to have the endurance to get through these next 7 weeks and finish this course with honors. Or I may want to finish this all 12 weeks and finish this with honors. I want the endurance to finish the course, and then I'll start trying to finish becoming a business person. I don't care what your finish line is, as long as it's moving you forward. That's the key. And if endurance is working to make you move one step further tonight, makes you want to do it, then we've had a successful night. And I'm very proud to have been a part of that. Because when I see you have success, I can move forward as well. So we have to have that endurance to focus on the finish line. I want you to let your light shine so that other people can benefit from the candles that you're lighting, and that you can see where you're headed with your endurance. Let your light shine so that you can light the way for some people that are maybe in darkness right now, and just really need to feel the warmth of your candle. Yeah, that's good. So I've given you some homework to do this week. I've given you lots of assignments to do. I'm looking forward to working with you in a lot of different ways. I want you, if you would, to think about seeing this all the way through and joining the academy and doing the work that we all have to do. Here's my email address. I want you to stay in touch with me. I hope that you will sign up and attend every one of these classes. Remember, you can come on Wednesday or Thursday nights. I really prefer that you try to pick one and stay with it, but you can always move over, and if you miss a class, pick it up on the next night, and I'll give you credit for it. There's no problem with that. But it will help our attendance records and be kind of level if you'll stay with either Thursday nights or Wednesday nights, or that you just do them both all that you can. So there we go. So let me invite you to turn your microphones back on, and we will see what people have to say, and we'll go from there. April, I want to tell you it's good to see you on board tonight. What do you have to say? And there's Angela. Angela, you got your mic on. How was your program tonight? Anybody still with me with your mic on? How about you, Sheila?
Hey, Steve, this is Sarita. How you doing?
Well, there's Sarita. Okay, how's things in Clinton tonight?
It's doing all right.
Good. You've done a little bit of traveling this summer, haven't you?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Yeah, my cousin got drafted into the baseball league.
Well,
right out of high school.
Which school or which team?
What team was it? It was the Phillies.
Fantastic.
Okay. So
And we're also lucky tonight to have Bart Rice, our sponsor, and the big boss is on board with us tonight. Bart, do you have your mic close by?
Yeah, I'm here. Got a little bit of stuff going on in the house tonight, but I think we'll be okay for a minute. How's everybody doing?
We've had a great night with a good group and just kicking off real strong and feeling real good about it.
That's fantastic. I'm glad to see everybody, or a bunch of people made it in. And just like I say, if you have any questions, please give me a call or an email, and I'll be glad to help you out any way I can.
Well, thank you so much, Bart. We'll be doing that, and we'll be staying in touch as we move along with the series.
Good deal.
All right. Take care. God bless you.
You too.
All right. Sheila, talk to us a little bit. Glad to have you back on board. She must be away from her mic. Madison, you want to turn your mic on and ask any questions or have any comments?
Well, I'm just gonna say thank you for being here, teaching all your knowledge, and I'm glad to be here. So I'm learning as I go.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to work with you as well. If there are not any other comments from anyone, I'll say good night to you. I'll send you a report and a copy of our video if it turns out, and I can turn it into a YouTube in a day or two. Again, if you have any questions or comments, write them over in the chat board, and I'll respond to them there. I think I have most of your email addresses already. If you didn't, I think everyone that's with us now has given them to me. So y'all take care. Have a great week. I look forward to getting some emails from you, and we'll look forward to working with you any way that we can. You take care, and good night.
All right, good night.
Thank you. Good night.